Hi everyone, so I'm back. It's autumn and I'm gathering Yerba mansa, only a little bit because it's quite protected. I'm down by the river. I don't know if you can see the river there, and I'm gathering it to make some hydrosol, but also because I wanted to really tune into the plant because I'm writing about her in my book. And what I realized was, the story of La Llorona, the weeping woman who wailed walking along by the Rio Grande because she'd killed her children and she was looking for the souls of children, maybe her own and maybe other children. And I realized, going deeper into this story, that was the story that the Spanish conquistadors told about La Llorona. But the story is much, much older and much deeper. And it's really a story about the earth, the beautiful dark earth where these aromatic roots grow and buried deep in the earth and making the earth smell aromatic and beautiful. And it's really a story that goes back to the ancient times and the old goddesses of South America. And it's a story about fear of the land being taken by the conquistadors, fear that the land was going to be taken and the women of the land were being taken by the colonizers and having children with the colonizers. That wasn't really the problem. The problem was once the colonizers had children with the women, they then taught their children that they were Spanish and that they had to deny their native roots. So there was this loss of land, not just the land, but of the children of the land. So La Llorona, the weeping woman, wasn't weeping because she'd killed her children. She was weeping because her children had been stolen. And that's the story of my motherline and the wound that came through from my great-grandmother, who was taken away from her mother in northeast India because her father died. He was British and her mother was tribal. And that wounding came down all the way to me, a white woman growing up in England. And it wasn't until I really worked on this lineage and discovered it that I found the reasons for the wounding that I'd lived throughout my life, and each woman from my great-grandmother onwards, my grandmother and my mother, had lived as well. So the transformation of that wound is really what my book's about, and Yerba mansa is a big part of it, because even though I'm on the land that used to be Mexico and now is New Mexico, the story is the same. And that's the universal aspect of colonization of the land and colonization of the motherline, which is what my work's about. The colonization of the motherline is a thread that goes throughout the work that I do, be it the classes specifically on that, the one I've just finished on Shadow, Soul and Soil, the one on the Alchemy of Menopause, we work on this as well, because it's huge and universal, and each one of us in some way has had our motherline colonized through colonization or through patriarchy, through many different forms and ways depending on where our motherline came from the earth and came through. So that's the work. So here's one of the roots. Let me find a nice one with a little bit of the new life that's always poking. You can see the new life that's always just underneath the bed of leaves. And I like the pulse of it. You can feel the new life in the roots of the old, and that's really what was being mourned, that the land and the motherlines, it is their birthright. It is nature that we stay connected to our motherline, and through colonization and patriarchy, the embodied motherline has been colonized, and that really has a huge effect on how we function in the world, and has resulted in the commercialization of the planet, making the planet a commodity instead of honoring her as a conscious living being, and honoring our motherlines as alive lineages, that we need to heal that energy. It's our life force. The mitochondrial DNA is in every cell of our body, but it's in the mitochondria, which is the energy. It's the energy of life. It's the embodied energy of life. And then spirit, the masculine force, honors that, sees it, and by seeing it, it comes alive. And that's really the work in a few sentences. So lots of love, thinking of everybody as I harvest these beautiful plants, and I think of La Llorona and getting back to healing our motherlines, decolonizing what was colonized. Lots of love.